Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So how you guys feeling about crypto today? XR Patience here posting this. General sentiment is negative, but mine is not. XRP going to shatter its previous all-time high. I'm waiting patiently. Can you? So, I mean, we've been seeing ups and downs, ups and downs. This is Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin up here, first of all, on the 3 hour and, again, hovering in this level, but I can see these volatile swings are making people very, very anxious. Back on May 19th, we saw Bitcoin go as low as about $30,000, the lowest we've seen it in a long, long time. And then we saw Bitcoin go right back up to almost $41,000. And these volatile swings have continued moving along, right? In the mid 30s, give or take. On June 8th, just a couple of days ago, Bitcoin was back down around 31,000, and now Bitcoin is trading at about 37,600. So, for a lot of those newbies who have just entered into the space, I can see how this is a little frustrating and probably not what you signed up for, not what you thought you were getting into when you got into a position in Bitcoin or other altcoins back in April. And so this is par for the course. XRP following that same kind of pattern, right? We saw that violent dip down, XRP hitting about 65 cents before closing above 80 cents. And, we saw it go back up to about $1.10 and then back down to about 80 cents, back up to $1.08, and then again back down to about 80 cents. Right now trading at about 88 cents as of the time of this recording. So we still have a ways to go, guys. Still trading sideways, but, all the technical factors check out. And this is great, right? When the general sentiment is negative in the market, all we can really do at this point is think to ourselves, there's a lot of fear. Fear means people are selling off, retail, inexperienced investors, selling off their positions. But we have been getting news, and I did a video just yesterday. We have been getting news. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. If you guys didn't catch that, we have been getting news that institutional investors are pouring into Bitcoin when it's, listed at a 50% discount. Let's not forget, in April, Bitcoin was trading closer to $65,000. And, after this decline, Bitcoin is now in the 30s. So a 50% discount for Bitcoin, and the same is just going for other cryptocurrencies. And I gotta thank you guys for being patient with me yesterday. I was trying to get that video up yesterday, and YouTube, for whatever reason, kept blocking it because of copyright infringement. So I thought I had taken care of that. I took out the video and I redubbed over some audio of just me discussing what was happening in the video, and then they flagged it a second time because I was using a screen grab from that video. So I had to get rid of the screen grab also, and I just put text on the screen just to kind of describe what was going on. Anyway, it was a bit of an ordeal. I didn't get the video up until later, and so I do apologize about yesterday. It was a bit of a kerfuffle. I want to get back to the crypto market though, because despite the negative sentiment, we are still seeing things like this from the Cryptic Poet. Interactive Brokers, which is one of the biggest stockbroker, do-it-yourself stockbroker exchanges around the world. These guys are great. They have always had really, really low fees, and now they are offering crypto trading, and they're going to be offering it by the end of the summer. So Interactive Brokers will start trading cryptocurrencies on its platform by the end of the summer, said Chairman and CEO Thomas Peterfy. Customers certainly are asking for crypto trading, and we expect to be ready to offer it to them by the end of the summer. So this is what he said at the Piper Sandler Global Exchange and FinTech Conference. Rival brokers Fidelity and Charles Schwab currently don't offer direct crypto trading on their platforms. However, stock trading app Robinhood does offer crypto trades. So let's put this into perspective. Robinhood, clearly one of those millennial Gen Z apps that a lot of the young kids are trading on for their crypto trades. I mean, you can also trade stocks on these types of apps. And, these older traditional types of do-it-yourself brokers are now realizing, look, our clientele wants to get into crypto, and their clientele, I wouldn't say is necessarily the institutional investor, although in some cases I'm sure it could be, but more along the lines of somewhere, I think I'm going to describe them as a very experienced or somewhat experienced retail investor. So not a newbie trying to jump on the craze, but somebody who may be in the space kind of like myself, may have been in the space for about 10 years or so, and looking to get into new markets. And so Interactive Brokers now looking into trading cryptocurrencies. Great news there. We've got this, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman with regards to Ripple partner TransferGo. So much has been happening with TransferGo. TransferGo, which runs on Ripple, has reported 2 moves this month. First, they partnered with freelance platform Remute So our partner, so this was back from June 2nd. Our new partner, TransferGo, is a new way to send money at a low cost, fast speed, and no hassle to more than 150 countries. Use this discount code during your first money transfer with TransferGo and set your transfer fee from Turkey to all available destinations to $0. And on top of that, guys, second and more tenuously, it looks like they've opened corridors from the US and Canada. Is that CA? Does that stand for Canada? Let me just take a look at this real quick. And when I click on that, that is not in English, so I'm going to just translate that real quickly here. Money transfer service to US and Canada launched on TransferGo. So great news there, guys, for 2 Ripple customers now opening corridors from the US and Canada to Turkey. And earlier this month, Remote has also now announced that with TransferGo, you can send money at a low cost from Turkey to some of these available destinations. Great news there for Ripple partner TransferGo and the partnerships they're making. I also saw this, guys, from yesterday. Ripple partner Axis Bank makes banking conversational, enables secured communication over WhatsApp. So a new solution offers richer communication and improved real-time customer experience, a full-scale integration with banking products across savings accounts, credit cards, deposits, and loans. Customer Banks accelerates customer agreement and turnaround time with a personalized experience while ensuring complete data security and privacy. Bank benefit increase in customer satisfaction or net promoter score, increase in customer service, operational efficiency, and an increase in customer lifetime value. Of course, we know Axis Bank did launch with Ripple-powered instant payment services for retail and corporate customers. This information from back in 2017. So definitely recorded as a Ripple partner. Great news there. Wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. And we've also got this, guys. Airwallex and Visa unveil Airwallex's borderless cards to businesses in Hong Kong. So Airwallex, yet another Ripple partner. Here are just some of the takeaways. They will allow customers in Hong Kong to instantly generate and issue multi-currency virtual payment cards that can be used to promptly pay third parties, leveraging Visa's network, and scale. Merchants will be able to transact in more than 140 currencies and make payments globally where Visa is accepted. And the introduction of the cards into Hong Kong follows its initial debut in Australia last year and subsequent launch in the United Kingdom. Airwallex, again, another Ripple partner, and now borderless cards for businesses in Hong Kong. We're getting more information about that. And I know a lot of you guys are getting really excited about your FLR Spark token airdrop. It is the month of June, and so the network has not launched yet. Some of you guys have been asking, right? If I did indeed claim my Spark tokens on the Ledger Nano S or X, where are they going to be dropped to? I did a video last summer, and I'll link that video up here, guys, if you still haven't seen it. Even if you have claimed your Spark tokens through that method. It was a year ago, almost a year ago, that I did that video, and so you might just want to refresh your minds, refer to that video if you've kind of forgotten about your Spark tokens up till now. So first of all, I wanted to say thanks to Dodler XRP for bringing this to my attention. So he sent me to this tweet from Brad's Lads here. Dear Ledger, please support the Spark token from FLR Networks. Unfortunately, I will not end up using my Nano otherwise, as it becomes too cumbersome if FLR is not integrated with Ledger Live. Thank you. So he is asking about this, wondering if the FLR Spark tokens are actually going to be airdropped onto the Ledger. Ledger Report responds to him, "Hi, we expect soon to have more information concerning a potential FLR application, so stay tuned." And QT17 here just asking, the main concern I read is where the FLR will be dropped. 1, on the Ledger device, or 2, the Ethereum wallet not on the Ledger device. CryptoX saying on the Ethereum address, you had to connect to your XRP address last year. XRP plus FLR plus YFLR says, but that Ethereum address was created on the Ledger Live. Correct. Now, Ledger support up here, guys, confirms this, and here's the answer. For those of you guys who have indeed claimed your FLR Spark tokens on the Ledger, okay, if you did that process last year and took a look at the video that I did claiming your Spark tokens, you know you had to set up an Ethereum address. So here's the answer to this. The Ledger Ethereum address you provided will become your FLR address once the network launches. Okay, so that's really important to note. The Ethereum address, guys, that you did set up when you set up your Ledger to claim Spark tokens is going to be that address where your FLR will be dropped to. The private keys for both are kept in your Ledger device. device. A Ledger FLR app would allow you to natively manipulate those keys from your device. I hope this answers your question. So this directly from Ledger support here on Twitter. I know a lot of you guys had this question, and so I hope this does clear things up. If you guys don't remember what that Ethereum address is, or if you're confused, again, revert to that video that I did link in the top right-hand corner about a minute ago. If you guys can't find it there, the thumbnail looks like this. I will also link this video in the description of this video, just so you guys can refresh your memory if you do indeed need a refresher. So all that information is in that video. It will be linked in the description. I want to keep moving though, guys. The Cryptic Poet posted this: Ubiquity and Real Items powered by VeChain get together to leverage Ubiquity NFT technology. So more VeChain news, guys. Ubiquity, a software platform focused on the blockchain real estate sector, has signed a letter of intent with VeChain powered Real Items to leverage its NFT technology. Real Items operates as an anti-counterfeiting company using VeChain technology. So anti-counterfeiting, something that VeChain does very, very well. Of course, you know, or may not know that they specialize in supply chain management. So used by the Chinese government, of course, to prevent fraud and counterfeiting items. We know counterfeiting is one of the biggest industries in China, and you know, they're trying to crack down on this utilizing the VeChain protocol. And now Ubiquity is looking forward to developing NFT and DeFi solutions for real estate, escrow, or title companies. Ubiquity works with blockchain-focused ecosystems and renowned title platforms, including VeChain, Proton Chain, Government Blockchain Solutions, AIC Title Service, Women in Blockchain Canada, eTitle Cambodia, and Lava Trust. I'll leave this article in the description of the video if you guys want to read further. I got a lot to go through today. So this I saw the other day, and we've heard the news about Bitcoin now being accepted as legal tender in El Salvador. Well, this coming from the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. I've just instructed the president of LatGeo, our state-owned geothermal electric company, to put up a plan to offer facilities for Bitcoin mining with very cheap, 100% clean, 100% renewable, zero emissions energy from our volcanoes. This is going to evolve fast. And so they posted a pic here. It has garnered over 68,000 likes here on Twitter. And this is just a sample of what it looks like, the geothermal energy being generated in El Salvador. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about Bitcoin, not because of the speculative trading, but now governments are shifting gears, focusing on the environment and how Bitcoin is environmentally unfriendly. Well, Nayib Bukele thinks he's found a way to solve that. Not every country in the world has volcanoes or the ability for geothermal mining. Now, I saw this from the XRP bully here on Twitter. He says, warning, I think the best thing to do here is for the US and other countries to get together and agree that in none of their countries will Bitcoin be convertible in the local currency. This coming from Dr. Daryl Doofy during today's Senate Banking Committee hearing in the United States. I'm going to play you guys this clip real quick. It's only about 30 seconds. Listen to this.
Well, has emphasized it's very difficult to stop the use of Bitcoin, but you can make it criminal in many different countries. If you have an international agreement among countries that Bitcoin will not be permitted to be converted into the local currency, then the criminals will be trapped with owning Bitcoin that they can't spend. And I think the best thing to do is for the US and other countries to get together and agree that in none of their countries will Bitcoin be convertible into the local currency.
Ouch! Really trying to take a hard line on this. So governments banding together, all agreeing that they're not going to allow Bitcoin to be convertible to the local currency. Is that even possible? Is that even legal? Is that even feasible? All these questions we have to ask ourselves, and I feel like governments would love to be able to have this kind of power, but realistically, is it possible? Along these same lines, guys, we have Elizabeth Warren here. This was a segment from her presentation from that same meeting. It's about 7 minutes long, but I'm just going to play you guys a little clip here. Just listen to this.
We've talked a lot today about the dangers that cryptocurrencies pose to our economy. We've talked about the ripoffs, the instability, the extent to which they're used to help criminals with cyber attacks, like the attack on Colonial Pipeline and JBS. But there's another piece too, the adverse environmental impacts of the computing activity used to mint many of these digital currencies in the first place. Bitcoin consumes more energy than entire countries. And it is projected to consume as much energy as all the data centers in the whole world this year. One Bitcoin transaction, a single purchase, sale, or transfer, uses the same amount of electricity as the typical US household uses in more than a month.
So you can see they're really pressing down on the gas here with regards to pushing that environmentally friendly cryptocurrency narrative forward. Now, this bodes well for cryptocurrencies like XRP, of course. I do wonder, though, where are they going with this? You know, when the government of El Salvador has now said we're accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, are they going to be looked at as an outlier or an outlaw in the eyes of other countries? Because they are accepting Bitcoin, are they not going to be looked favorably upon, considering this whole mainstream narrative is now going environmental? Andrew Zell down here also just, responding to Sheila Warren's tweet with a great infographic from Stetus on Twitter, just demonstrating the environmental sustainability, comparing XRP and Bitcoin. And so you guys can just see some of the statistics here. Anyway, it is interesting, and so now this is happening. Bank regulators plan conservative capital rule for Bitcoin. This coming from Ian Northing here on Twitter. Banks must set aside enough capital to cover losses on Bitcoin holdings in full. Global regulators proposed this on Thursday in a conservative step that could prevent wide-scale use of cryptocurrency by big lenders. So we are already seeing this starting to shape up. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, made up of regulators from the world's leading financial centers, proposed a twin approach to capital requirements for crypto assets held by banks in its first bespoke rule for the nascent sector. El Salvador has become the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, even though central banks globally have repeatedly warned that investors in the cryptocurrency must be ready to lose all their money. Major economies, including China and the United States, have signaled in recent weeks a tougher approach while developing plans to develop their own central bank digital currencies. So you can see there's almost like a cryptocurrency, an unspoken cryptocurrency Cold War maybe going on, if I dare use that term. The Swiss-based Basel Committee said in a consultation paper that while bank exposures to cryptocurrency are limited, their continued growth could increase risks to global financial stability from fraud, cyber attacks, money laundering, and terrorist finance if capital requirements are not introduced. So many of these G7 countries realizing, you know what, we do have to put some kind of limitations on Bitcoin. What is this going to mean for the ultimate fate of Bitcoin? I still think is yet to be determined. Meanwhile, Stefan Huber here, notice this, that David Schwartz in fact deleted this tweet. Joel Katz deleted a tweet from the day before yesterday in light of today's tweet. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum documents have led to a settlement. He seems to have great need to share what is happening, but this tweet was probably too obvious. So what was so obvious about it? So Stefan Huber retweeting out Equity Capital's tweet here, which just points to the fact that Joel Katz deleted this tweet. Luckily, he screen grabbed it before Joel Katz could delete it. Interesting. Gave me a pause thinking, would a CTO of a firm being sued by the SEC tweet something antagonizing during settlement negotiations? Thought it may be a signal, no ongoing negotiations, but nah, for this CTO, for this case, for this SEC, it is indeed believable. So I'm going to get to that tweet in a second. What is actually happening in the courts? So this is the most recent update here, guys, and perhaps Joel Katz, David Schwartz, knew something about this before we did. So Michael at Val5Links posting this, just an article from You Today summing this up. Attorney James Fillon, who is an XRP community member, has published more materials recently regarding the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple on his Twitter page. He has tweeted that the SEC has filed a motion against Ripple's recent response to the SEC's argument regarding Ripple's fair notice defense. And so here is the response. Jeremy Hogan also weighs in on this. Let me read you guys a little bit of this. Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission respectfully responds to defendant Ripple Labs' SIR reply to the SEC's motion to strike Ripple's fourth affirmative defense. The big SIR reply argues in part that the SEC's 74 enforcement actions in the digital asset space before it filed this lawsuit were insufficient to provide Ripple fair notice, and that its unregistered sales of XRP could be illegal, such that due process is not satisfied. I just want to point out here, guys, that this was submitted by the SEC's lawyer, George Tenriro. It goes on to say, this argument is based on an incorrect characterization of the fair notice defense. Ripple's arguments boil down to this: because none of the SEC's prior digital asset cases involved the exact same identical facts as this case, Ripple lacks sufficient fair notice such that it cannot be liable for violating Section 5's strict liability provisions. But fair notice does not require such exact factual correspondence, and Ripple cites no case that suggests anything to the contrary. Rather than the abundance of case law interpreting and applying Howey at all levels of this judiciary, as well as related guidance issued by the SEC as to the scope of its regulatory authority and enforcement power, provide all the notice that is constitutionally required. Here, Howey and its progeny's flexible rather than static principle would be nullified by a ruling that a fair notice defense can defeat any claim involving an investment product that is not identical to the one previously deemed a security. The court should reject the invitation to issue such a ruling. It really does sound like they are grasping at straws at this point. Jeremy Hogan pointing this out. It's at the very end of this letter, the second time we see the SEC's realization that this case could produce very bad legal precedent for it in the crypto space vis-a-vis the fair notice defense, and pleading, literally pleading with the court not to let that happen. Agent Smith V3 here saying begging, negotiating from a position of weakness, as if justice owes them a favor in their quest to railroad American ingenuity and trample on freedom. Reeks of entitlement and fear. They better check themselves before they wreck themselves. To put it in lay people's terms, the judge, how is that my problem? You morons who brought this crap here, guess you better settle, and at this point, defendant calls the shots unless you want to take your chances with me. That's basically what they're saying here. Great summation in lay people's terms. Andrezel here saying if the US is not allowed to innovate, that will not stop other countries using the technology to bypass SWIFT and have atomic settlement between each other. The SEC is really hurting US ability to compete with this technology. All right, so let me get back to this David Schwartz tweet here. And wait a minute, how many likes does it have? Okay, that's probably just a coincidence. The David Schwartz tweet here says, can you refuse to provide documents requested in discovery in order to be turned over by a judge on the grounds that the contents of those documents are really embarrassing and harmful to your case? Asking for a government. He then later deleted this tweet. And then yesterday we got this response here, this letter dated June the 9th. So I believe he deleted that tweet on June the 8th. He posted it on June the 7th. By June the 9th, this came out. And so did David Schwartz know something before we knew something? Is there a settlement looming? Are we closer than we think, guys? And I know David Schwartz does have a habit of posting cryptic messages on Twitter. I'm just putting the information in front of you. So tell me down in the comments what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.